Good afternoon. My name is Laura Diaz, and I will be presenting for you today, Journaling for Independent Thinking in the Middle School Music Classroom. Journaling is just one of the tools that we can use in our middle school classrooms in music to help our students become independent thinkers. Why should we use journaling? Well, journaling is an effective way to improve our students' writing skills. We shouldn't expect our students to only improve writing in their English classes. We can help use cross-curricular curriculum to help improve writing skills in all of their classes. In addition, journaling will help students focus on one particular idea, or one concept, one opinion, one situation, and really have them think about it and put it into words. In addition, journaling can help students create an opinion about a situation or a concept. And with successive use of journaling, students are able to see their work improve over time. And as a possible project grade at the end of the year, students can present some of their journaling entries as an oral presentation. And all of these ideas were taken from an article by Amy Rowland. To take journaling into music, I've given some possible topics that you could use to have students write in your class in the middle school classroom. For example, if you were discussing music history, you could take a composer like Mozart and have them write facts that they know, interesting stories they may know about Mozart. If you've already presented things about Mozart, you can have them do like a summarization of what they've learned about Mozart as part of their journaling activity. You could talk about forms of music that were inherent to a specific period of music. For example, the madrigal of the Renaissance period. You could have them write about that. Periods of music in general. Maybe do a grand overview at the end of the year of what they've learned in your class. You could also talk about cultural and social elements that impacted music during that time period. You can talk about music genres. I know in my classes in the 7th grade, we deal a lot with music genres. We do jazz, we do blues, we do rock, we do rap, we do opera, we do musicals, we do theater. Lots and lots of different kinds of genres. And journaling will be just one different way to vary things up the way they learn, and they can talk about these different genres in their journal activities. They could talk about specific performers. They could do biography entries. They could do repertoire entries. They could do discography entries. There's so many different ideas that you could use. You could have them use their imagination and create a scene. If, for example, if they were a jazz musician trying to break into the jazz scene, what would their life be like? What conflicts would they be presented with in their quest to become popular and a famous jazz musician? This is just a small sampling of what you could do with your students. The possibilities are endless. So how are we going to use independent thinking in music? Well, in the book Intellectual Character by Rick Hart proposes many different scenarios in which teachers try to encourage their students to become independent thinkers. Journaling was just one such way, in which the teacher led a discussion, students wrote about it, they discussed it, they wrote about it again. And so an important thing for us as teachers, especially music teachers, is that when we present things more concrete like history or forms or genres, we need to get away from the lecture-based lesson. And journaling is a fantastic way to allow students to write about what they know and to come up with their own conclusions and lead a discussion in their own way. The effective teacher will present open-based questions to promote discussion and for a higher level of thinking before and or after journaling. And I think this is the most important. If we are going to want our students to become independent thinkers, we have to allow them to be in the situation in which they can succeed as an independent thinker. And so that's going to take a little bit more work on our end to make sure that the prompts that we give them, the way we lead the discussion, is going to help them to create those skills to become an independent thinker. The teacher will direct the discussion, the journaling, leading the students when needed, and most important, effective prompts must be met. One example in which you can combine music and independent thinkers is if, like for example, in the Renaissance music. This was a website that I found just in searching about Renaissance music, about the different Italian social classes. If you were talking about how social classes were different in the Renaissance, you could have them research about it. They could do a journal entry about the different classes and how that might impact the music. If they were a worker on a farm, what kind of music would they be exposed to? If they were a royal family member, what would that be? What would they be exposed to that way? So this is just one small example of what you can do as a journal entry to promote independent thinkers. It's always that what if. What if you did this? Well, what if you did this? How would this impact you this way? So all these kind of open-ended questions, that you can give your students, they can think about it, process it, and then they can write about it. So in conclusion, independent thinking is a skill that we must try to encourage our students to use. We need to encourage them. As teachers, we need to give them the skills to become independent thinkers. But most